So hi everyone, it's Julia, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about Coming to America 2 and basically what my thoughts were about it, what I liked about it, what I disliked about it, and I'm gonna just give you my full 2 cents. So let's get into it. So Coming to America 2 is the sequel of the first Coming to America that was released in 1988, starring Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and so many other greats such as James Earl Jones and John Amos. This movie is a classic. That's when I learned that that was my African parents' favorite movie. And my dad literally knows all the lines and he can mouth like everything. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. So it's my favorite. I really feel like this movie just completely missed the mark. It was just all over the place. It was not funny. It really wasn't. I mean, there were moments that I thought were funny. But yeah, so I'm gonna get into that. So basically, the movie starts with, seeing Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall reprising their roles as Akeem and Semi, and they're in the kingdom of Zamunda, and you see his daughters, and you see Lisa again, and it was really cool for me to see all these people in their roles. That's something I really love about this movie, was the fact that we had pretty much almost all the original cast, and they all aged really, really well, which is really, really awesome. I loved just seeing everybody get together and everyone, seeing Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall in that kind of capacity again was just really cool. Like, they still kind of held their chemistry and you could tell that they really enjoyed working together again. And so that was really cool. They recreated a lot of scenes, so I also like that as well. Like, for example, I guess spoiler, the scene where Vanessa Bell Calloway in the original movie, she plays Akeem's intended bride, and she was barking when he was like, bark like a dog, and she's like barking like arf arf arf. They recreated that scene. They also recreated a bunch of other scenes. Like later in the movie, they recreate the beginning where, how Akeem was getting his his royal parts washed by the women that work there. They recreated that as well, and they just recreated a lot of classic scenes, and so that was really nice to see. Another thing that a lot of people have been pointing out as well is the fashion and like the dresses and all of the fashion. Like, everybody looked just decked out in their kente, and like everyone just looked beautiful. That is something I really enjoyed as well. You could tell that they were really embracing the African style and they were really enjoying it, and they all looked really beautiful in it, and so I really, really like that too. And we also got to see more of Zamunda and like what Zamunda was like, and that was really cool too. I just thought that was really nice just to give some shine to Africa, and like just seeing more of Zamunda. I thought that was such a cool touch as well. But to be honest, that is kind of where my likes for this movie kind of end. I mean, the fashion sense, the scenes, and just the original cast. I mean, at that point, there's really not much else to like about the movie, in my opinion. Quite honestly, I thought again that the movie was not very funny. The whole premise of Akeem going to America to find his long lost son just seems really retconned and really random. Like, it just didn't really fit. And the thing was, they were barely in America. They were in America for like 5 minutes of the whole film. Like, literally, they went to America to get the son. They were there for like 5 minutes and then they returned. And the thing was, like, I gotta be honest, even though I said that I liked some of the scenes where they recreated the older scenes, I also kind of think that that's what made the movie kind of bad too, because you ended up comparing them. They showed a lot of the old scenes. Like, they cut a lot of clips from the original film and put it in the new film. And I think that that was something that also really dragged down the second movie, was you were looking at the first movie, like a scene from the first movie, and then it cuts to this. Like, it cuts to this. Like, you know what I mean? And I thought that that just made it really, like, it just made you kind of sit there and be like, wow, we really had the first movie and this is what we're watching now. So I really did not like that. I did not think that that was cool. Once you really kind of looked into it a little deeper, it kind of just made you feel like you were being cheated. I also felt like, again, a lot of people have mentioned that the cast is really overbloated. Like, they have so many different stars. Everybody and their mama was in this movie. Like, you had Tiana Taylor, Trevor Noah, Rick Ross, Morgan Freeman. I mean, why was Morgan Freeman, like, yeah, I like Morgan Freeman, but he was completely out of place in this movie. They just brought in like Tracy Morgan, which honestly I didn't think he was that funny. I just really think that they brought in like so many different people, and it's like, how are you able to have stellar writing when you're constantly focusing on all these different characters, when you have all this cast, we can't even give attention to the main plot. So basically, I watched 1 hour on Friday night, and then I watched the second hour this afternoon. So this is Saturday as I'm recording it. And I watched the second hour this afternoon, and I literally had to like push through. I did not want to watch it because at some point I felt like the plot got lost. You know, I was watching it and I was just like, okay, I don't even know what's happening right now, so I'm gonna just ignore it. And then whenever something kind of notable happens, like between Akeem and Semi, or between the prince and I forget what you called her, the groomer, yeah, her, like whenever something happened between them is when I paid attention. But other than that, like I just felt like it got lost a lot. The plot was just kind of really, it was really cheesy, and I honestly felt some of the acting was really cheap. So this is a spoiler, but towards the end of the movie, Akeem goes back to America to retrieve Prince Lavelle because he wants to marry the groomer. I forget her name in the movie, but she's a beautiful actress. He realizes that he wants to marry her, and so they're at the chapel, and you know, basically Akeem and Lavelle go and like talk their things out. But I felt like that scene seemed so fake, like it seemed so cheesy, like the acting was terrible, I gotta be honest. Like the acting was not good in that scene, and you did not get the same feelings that you got in the first movie when Akeem went to his mom and was like, hey, I really love Lisa. You didn't get that authentic, like, hey, you're putting me in a situation I don't want to be in, and this is the woman I truly love. You did not feel that with the prince in this movie, and they were kind of trying to rehash that plot, and they just didn't do it nearly as well. Also, just there wasn't enough of Akeem and Sebi. Like there wasn't enough of that dynamic. They were kind of pushed to the background, and the prince, I just don't feel like carried the show or the movie like well enough to really have all the focus be on him. And I just, again, I felt like a lot of the problems or the issues in the movie were kind of just very rehashed and kind of very typical, and they just weren't done well. Like they were really cheesy. Like some jokes were even really cheesy. There was one part where they had a lion just fart, and I was just like, that's not funny to me. Like if you laughed, cool, all power to you, but I didn't think that was funny. I thought it was really cheesy, and I thought it was really like cringe. I just didn't think it was funny at all. Also, I think Leslie Jones, and I'm not really familiar with her work too well, I'm really like, I've kind of tapped out of Hollywood, to be honest. I just didn't really feel like her role was used well. I felt like she was kind of used as a trope, you know, like, oh, the loud, over the top black woman, you know, like doing all this, like being all like, you know, just too much, like just doing too much. And I think they could have done way more with her character. And I just felt like they made her character like loud, over the top the whole time. And I just thought that it was really unoriginal, and I just thought that there was a better use for her character. I don't even think I like what they did with Lisa's character that much either. She didn't seem like really cool or sweet like she did in the first movie. I don't know. I just didn't really like a lot of the characters and what they did with them, and I just thought it was too much, and it just wasn't funny or original. So with all that being said, I just feel like if you're watching this movie because you want to see the sequel, or you want to know what it looks like, if you just want to see all these characters come together again, all the cast come together, then by all means watch it. But if you're expecting like a stellar like sequel, you're not getting it. They honestly should have done a sequel years ago, quite honestly, and they should have had a more fresh plot. So yeah, I just think that this movie was a disappointment, and it was a waste of my time. Thank goodness it's on Amazon Prime because I did not have to pay for it. I don't think it's worth your money. Thank goodness. Yeah, it was clearly a cash grab. And this just makes me think like I'm tired of the sequels in Hollywood. I'm tired of sequels. I'm tired of reboots. Like I was pretty much done with reboots once Aladdin came out, and it wasn't even the fact that the Aladdin reboot happened. It's just the fact that they were doing a reboot of Aladdin, or they were doing a live action rather, excuse me. I'm just tired of it, and the only like reboot series or revival thing I'm excited for is Avatar. That's the only one I'm excited for. I'm not excited for anything else, because with the Avatar one, they have the original like writers and the original creators like as like chiefs. I think they're co-chiefs of Avatar Studios. So that's awesome. But pretty much it's just telling me that Hollywood's out of ideas, Hollywood is bland, and Hollywood doesn't give people who actually are original, people who actually are fresh, they don't give them the ideas. Instead, they're just looking for a cash grab because they know that no matter what, people are going to watch it no matter what the quality is. So, yep, Coming to America, 2 thumbs down. Just watch the original and never watch the sequel unless you really are curious about it. So thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and let me know what you thought of Coming to America 2, and if you watched it, and if you haven't watched it yet, are you going to watch it? So thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.